Welcome to WoW, Word on Wednesday, our weekly devotions. Well, we've had quite a weekend, haven't we? We have seen what's happening in our country. There are protests that have turned violent, riots that have ended up in the looting of shops, the destruction of property. Frustrations have been expressed, disrupting people's lives, ending in criminality, and then also in some cases even death. In my prayers and reflections over this past weekend, I've been drawn to that hymn, Be Thou My Vision. This hymn has its origins in Ireland way back in the 6th century, about 1500 years ago. It was written by an Irish poet, Dylan Forgale, also known as Saint Dylan, who ministered in the wake of St. Patrick's evangelistic campaigns and church planting. For generations, the poem that he wrote way back then became part of the Irish monastic tradition and was used as a prayer and was chanted by monks in the old Irish language. It wasn't until much later, in 1905, when this poem was translated into English by Mary Byron, and it reads like this. Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart, none other is aught but the King of 7 heavens. Be thou my meditation by day and night. May it be thou that I behold even in my sleep. Be thou my speech, be thou my understanding, be thou with me, be I with thee. Be thou my Father, be I thy son. Mayst thou be mine, may I be thine. Be thou my battle shield, be thou my sword, be thou my dignity, be thou my delight. Be thou my shelter, be thou my stronghold. Mayst thou raise me up to the company of the angels. Be thou every good to my body and soul. Be thou my kingdom in heaven and on earth. Be thou solely chief love of my heart. Let there be none other, O high King of heaven. Till I am able to pass into thy hands, my treasure, my beloved, through the greatness of thy hope. Be thou alone my noble and wondrous estate. I seek not others, nor lifeless wealth. Be thou my constant guardian of every possession and every life, for our corrupt desires are dead at the mere sight of thee. Thy love in my soul and in my heart, grant me this, O King of 7 heavens. O King of the 7 heavens, grant me this, thy love to be in my heart and in my soul. With the King of all, with him after victory won by piety, may I be in the kingdom of heaven, O brightness of the sun. Beloved Father, hear my lamentations. Timely is the cry of woe of this miserable wretch. O heart of my heart, whatever befall me, O ruler of all, be thou my vision. It was 7 years later when that poem was versified by Eleanor Hull. Today, those exalted words of Godward vision and the song that is loved by believers just about everywhere, just as hundreds of years ago, the Irish believers used to chant it. So let's listen and sing along if you'd like to the song, Be Thou My Vision.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart, nor be all else to me waking or sleeping, thy presence my life. Be thou my wisdom, thou my true word. I ever with thee, thou with me, Lord. Thou my great Father, and I thy true Son. Thou in me dwelling, and I with thee one. Be thou my battle shield, sword for the fight. Be thou my dignity, thou my delight. Thou my soul shelter, thou my high tower. Raise thou me heavenward, O power of my heart. Riches I need not, nor man's empty praise. Now my inheritance, now and always. Thou and thou only, first in my heart. My King of heaven, my treasure thou art. High King of heaven, after victory won, may I reach heaven's joys, O bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever before, still be my vision, O ruler of all. Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart. Naught be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best Lord, my day or by night. Waking or sleeping, thy presence my life.
It's interesting to note that Saint Dylan, who originally wrote the poem that was ultimately translated, was blind when he wrote it. It is a call for God to be our vision. What would it mean for us if Christ were our vision? How would that change our lives? It would mean simply this, that instead of seeing the world through the eyes of social media, TV and news broadcasts, Hollywood movies, even our culture, we would begin to see the world through Christ's eyes. That has the great potential to change our lives, because seeing the world through the eyes of Christ would cause us to love as Christ loved, to focus less on getting the things that we want and focusing more on giving to others that which we can in order to help them. We would begin maybe to care less about people's opinions of us and be more concerned about the direction that God would have our lives take. In some ways, that would complicate our lives because we could no longer be focused on the things that the world considers to be important. More money, bigger houses, more prestigious cars, the latest gadgets, keeping up with the fashions. But in other ways, it would become, or rather help our lives to be more simple. It would cause us to no longer focus on the things that the world considers important, but to then focus on spiritual values. It would allow us to maybe stop striving to pile up things and work on our spiritual inheritance. People who have come to see the world through Christ's eyes, I think, tend to be more centered, to be less troubled than others, to be strong in the strength that comes from God and God alone. Be thou my vision is a prayer. It is a prayer that Christ would be our vision, our best thought, our presence, our light. So let's sing the song again. Let's listen to it again. And let's remember that it is a prayer. Let's make it our prayer for today. Amen.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart, nor be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best thought, by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy